You were fired from The View. I think we all were. Like, you...
I mean, duh, everybody gets... Allegedly, he was cheating while Melania was pregnant.
That was all. That's not going to come in front of the jury, though. The judge has ruled that won't come up.
We're on television now. And then after Melania gave birth to the baby, he found Stormy to strip around with, right?
Yeah.
It's like people should look at him and say, you know, what kind of an insecure jerk are you? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my wife's pregnant. I'm not attracted to her big belly or something. And now she's paying attention to the baby and not me.
Joy objectifying the White House press secretary, saying she only has the job because she's hot.
Joy Behar, yes, the outspoken host from The View, was just caught trying to flee the country amid a whirlwind of scandal. Can you believe it? Sources say Joy was spotted darting through JFK Airport with a suitcase in hand, sunglasses on, and a baseball cap pulled down to hide her face. She was clearly trying not to be recognized. Eyewitnesses described her as looking frantic, constantly peering over her shoulder like she expected someone to be right behind her. This wild moment came just hours after shocking news broke. A massive $50 million lawsuit had been filed against her. The lawsuit reportedly includes accusations of defamation, false statements, and even whispers of suspicious business activities from her past. Authorities got the tip just in time, right as Joy was about to reach the international departures gate. She looked like she was trying to escape something serious. One witness said she looked like she knew her time was up. Suddenly, airport security swooped in and calmly surrounded her, trying not to cause a scene at first. But as soon as Joy spotted them, she froze completely, like a deer caught in the headlights. Trying to act cool, she even cracked a joke with one of the officers. But witnesses say her hands were trembling. And then, just like that, the handcuffs came out. Joy Behar was taken into custody right there in front of a crowd of stunned travelers who couldn't believe what they were seeing.
So when I was fired the last time from this show,
Wait,
people say to me, were you okay with that? And my answer is, I was happy.
Democrats and the media are now unloading all their nasty attacks on rising Trump White House star and new press secretary, Caroline Leavitt.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
Gasps rippled through the terminal as stunned travelers realized who was being arrested. It wasn't just any passenger. It was Joy Behar. Joy frantically pleaded with the officers, insisting, "This is all a misunderstanding." But they weren't having it. Not for a second. Onlookers quickly pulled out their phones and started recording the unbelievable scene. Within minutes, the footage had exploded across social media. The woman known for criticizing everyone else was now at the heart of a scandal she couldn't talk her way out of. Legal experts are weighing in, saying this lawsuit links back to years of reckless remarks and messy behind-the-scenes drama that's finally caught up to her. Even more shocking, insiders are whispering that this might only be the start, that even more lawsuits could be looming. Joy's team has yet to release a single word, and that silence is only adding fuel to the fire. Fans are torn. Some defend her, saying she deserves her day in court, while others are calling her behavior suspicious and disgraceful. She always acted like she was above everyone, one user posted, but now she's just another celebrity caught red-handed. And here's the kicker. Joy reportedly had a one-way ticket. She wasn't planning to come back. Sources say her destination was Switzerland, a country famous for strict privacy protections and tough extradition laws. That little detail made investigators even more suspicious. Was Joy trying to disappear forever and dodge justice? Insiders claim her legal team warned her days ago that this could blow up, and it looks like she tried to run before it all came crashing down. Now everyone's asking the same question. What exactly is she hiding? Former colleagues are starting to speak out, claiming Joy has avoided consequences for years, protected by her fame and influence. Legal commentators are calling this one of the most shocking celebrity lawsuits in years. Joy Behar being marched through an airport in handcuffs is already being compared to some of the biggest celebrity breakdowns in history. One eyewitness said, "She always acted like nothing could touch her, like she was invincible. But in that moment, she didn't look so tough."
Isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on look?
Caroline Leavitt is the press secretary at the White House, doing a great job. Such a great job that the ladies of The View feel the green monster coming upon.
As Joy was placed inside the police vehicle, the tension in the air was unreal. One traveler who caught it all on video said, "It felt like a movie scene. I thought it was a prank at first." Now, loyal viewers of The View are left asking, what happens next? Will Joy be replaced? Will this scandal stain the entire cast? Some fans are absolutely outraged. They're calling for Joy's permanent removal and demanding a deep investigation into the show's production team. Others fear this is just the beginning, that the drama could unleash even more accusations from people who've stayed silent until now. Behind the scenes, sponsors are getting nervous. Some are already pulling away from Joy quietly, cutting ties while watching the situation unfold. Meanwhile, Joy was taken to a detention facility, and reports say she refused both food and interviews from the press waiting outside. Her team is scrambling to do damage control, working overtime to twist the story and salvage her reputation before it's too late. But with a staggering $50 million lawsuit, a failed escape plan, and a tidal wave of backlash, it's looking more like her image is beyond saving. Insiders insist this wasn't some sudden legal ambush. Joy was warned weeks ago that trouble was coming her way. Then came another jaw-dropping twist. Joy Behar was brought before a judge for an emergency court hearing, and things only got worse. She entered the courtroom with her head down, avoiding the cameras and the stunned reactions echoing through the gallery. As the charges were read aloud, the courtroom froze. No one expected the list to be so long or so severe. Prosecutors didn't waste a second. They accused Joy of trying to obstruct justice by attempting to flee the country. They even rolled out airport security footage, showing Joy deliberately trying to dodge officials and switch terminals at the last minute. One insider from inside the hearing described her as looking defensive and desperate, a far cry from the bold persona she shows on TV. The judge directly questioned Joy about why she had no return ticket and why she was carrying nothing but cash and a burner phone. That last detail sent shockwaves through the room. Jaws dropped as people realized how serious this was.
To the cackling witch herself, Joy Behar from The View, whose jealousy is something to behold. Here is her assessment of Trump's new White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
The ever-empowering feminist, Joy herself, everyone. And this is why, of course, she's on The View and not working for the most powerful man in the world, because Caroline would wipe the floor with you bitter banshees any day.
How dare she objectify a woman with a sexist rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
Joy Behar, a public figure traveling without any electronics, except for a prepaid burner phone, instantly raised red flags. When questioned about the phone, her lawyer quickly jumped in, claiming it was just for personal privacy. But the judge didn't seem convinced at all. Back at ABC headquarters, producers are said to be in full-blown crisis mode, holding emergency meetings, trying to decide how to respond without making the situation spiral even further. Some sponsors have already pulled out of upcoming segments, and insider sources claim several episodes are now being scrubbed clean for potentially damaging content. Despite her legal team's urgent requests, the judge refused to grant Joy immediate bail, calling her a flight risk due to the serious nature of the allegations. Joy was escorted back into custody, her expression hidden behind large sunglasses, but the stress surrounding her was impossible to ignore. Inside the jail, things reportedly got worse. Sources say Joy struggled badly during her first night, pacing her cell and breaking down in tears. She even requested a more private cell, but officials denied the request due to how high-profile her case had become. A correctional officer who spoke anonymously said she wasn't the Joy Behar you see on TV. She looked completely shattered. Once the news hit social media, it exploded. People across platforms were saying she's finally feeling what it's like to face real accountability. Behind the scenes at ABC, executives are said to be in panic mode, fearing that this fallout could cause massive damage to The View's ratings. Whispers are already swirling that replacement hosts are being quietly considered, just in case the scandal continues to grow. Legal experts following the case believe prosecutors are preparing to call even more witnesses, especially those with stories of alleged bullying or manipulation. Several individuals are already stepping up, including a former intern who claimed Joy would yell at people constantly and believed she was untouchable. This expanding list of potential witnesses could turn the case into an even bigger media frenzy, bigger than anyone ever saw coming.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job. Maybe. But my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted to
us.
clarify that.
Yeah.
How well you can do your job, and the American people agree with that sentiment. So it's about competence, skill, and merit.
It's not. So first of all, and I have had my objections to the job that Karine Jean-Pierre did, but she worked in politics for 21 years, 5 presidential campaigns, and worked in 2 administrations.
I was stunned and amazed by his new White House spokeswoman today. She's actually the youngest ever in that job. Rowan, I couldn't do that at 27. No nonsense, straight to the point.
Investigators are now digging deep into Joy Behar's financial history, and what they're finding is raising serious concern. Undisclosed offshore accounts have come to light, and eyebrows are flying up across the board. Experts warn that if money laundering becomes part of the case, this won't stay just a lawsuit. It could explode into a full-scale federal investigation. One viral headline summed it up perfectly. From talk show queen to legal nightmare. The fall of Joy Behar, and it's spreading like wildfire across social media. Despite the chaos, Joy's legal team insists she's being unfairly targeted, calling the claims grossly exaggerated and politically driven. But the public isn't convinced. Recent polls show Joy's popularity among viewers has taken a steep nosedive. Even longtime fans are turning their backs. A former friend of Joy's didn't hold back, telling reporters she thought she could say anything, do anything, and never face the consequences. Now look. Legal analysts are warning that the next court hearing could be explosive, possibly including wiretaps and private communications that might shake things up even more. Every hour seems to chip away at the once solid image Joy spent decades building, and the damage is becoming impossible to ignore. What started as a single lawsuit is quickly morphing into a full-blown reckoning, one that Joy Behar never imagined she'd face. It's no longer just about defamation. This entire case is spiraling into a tangled web of financial scandal and legal danger. Celebrities have started to quietly distance themselves, and former co-hosts are refusing to make statements, choosing silence over association. ABC still hasn't issued a formal response, but rumors are swirling like a storm. Top executives are reportedly preparing an emergency exit strategy. One insider even claimed Joy's nameplate had already been taken off her dressing room door, a silent sign that her time might be up. "They're cutting her loose," said the source. "They're just waiting for the right moment to make it official." Back in the courtroom, things took another dark turn. New financial records were introduced that revealed suspicious money transfers to foreign accounts. Even more alarming, those transfers didn't match Joy's official income, and prosecutors didn't hesitate to suggest foul play. They accused her of possibly moving money on purpose, just in case the lawsuit resulted in a financial seizure.
Tonight, my manager put the information on Deadline Hollywood.
Yeah.
The next day, Diane Sawyer announces it on World News Tonight. It's like, okay, Putin and Joy Behar. So crazy. What? So then Barbara saw it, and they announced it before I could announce it on The View.
Right.
So that Monday, she said to me, "You've been here so many years, you could have announced it on The View." And I said, "Well, when your book was out, you announced it on Oprah." And she said, "Two wrongs don't make a right."
Joy's defense insisted she never intended to run, but the facts told a completely different story. A last-minute ticket bought with cash, burner phones, erased messages, and now hidden bank accounts. It was a disaster unraveling live for everyone to see. This wasn't just a scandal. It was a full-on collapse playing out in front of the entire nation, second by second. Later that day, still behind bars, Joy made a brief call to her legal publicist. "Tell them I'm not guilty," she reportedly said. "I'll fight until the end." But those close to the case said she looked absolutely shaken, finally realizing she no longer had control over the narrative. TV networks quickly started removing reruns that featured Joy, and major sponsors were cutting ties with stunning speed. Insiders revealed that staff at The View had already been warned to brace for a new direction. The corporate code for saying Joy Behar's reign was over. Meanwhile, the investigation kept growing. Financial experts were brought in, and ethics panels began digging through old workplace complaints. This wasn't just ending Joy's television career. It was sending shockwaves through the entire industry that once shielded her from consequences. In hushed conversations, other celebrities began sharing their own unsettling stories about Joy. Tales of intimidation, arrogance, and favoritism started surfacing from every corner. From red carpets to late-night green rooms, the same message echoed. She was feared, not admired. One actor confessed she thought she was untouchable. And now, even her closest allies were nowhere to be found. The entourage that used to follow her everywhere had vanished, and Joy was left completely alone, surrounded by cold concrete and a legal system closing in like a steel trap. There would be no network redemption this time, no clever comeback or staged apology to save her. And the pressure only intensified. The trial was confirmed to be televised, with cameras allowed inside the courtroom for the world to witness every moment. Millions were expected to tune in, eager to watch what was being called the trial of the talk show queen. This wasn't just a legal battle. It was shaping up to be a historic showdown that could change the way celebrities are held accountable in the public eye.
So, how you feel? I'll start. Yeah, go ahead. My takeaway is that the system works. We live in a democracy. People spoke. This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made, but I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country. We should value it. We should love it. We should protest if the situation arises.
Joy's reputation was in ruins. Her credibility? Completely destroyed. For the first time in her long media career, she wasn't asking the questions. She was the one being grilled, under oath and under fire. As the court moved toward jury selection, legal teams continued to dig, and reports now claim even Joy's emails were being scanned by federal authorities for signs of obstruction or conspiracy. This had gone far beyond a personal scandal. It had turned political, financial, and deeply systemic. People who once admired her were turning away, disgusted, disappointed, and done with defending her. The public had seen enough. The arrest footage, the court confrontations, the mounting accusations, even secret recordings. It had all turned into a national fixation. And it wasn't just entertainment anymore. It had become a loud warning to others in power. No one is above accountability. One cultural critic nailed it in a recent interview, saying, "Joy Behar became the story she used to mock." That quote struck a nerve and went viral instantly. It was everywhere, in news tickers, podcasts, headlines, and social media debates across the country. Then came the most explosive twist yet. A new anonymous witness stepped forward with a devastating claim from the early 2000s. According to this source, Joy had allegedly helped cover up misconduct by another high-profile figure in the network. And the court is now opening a separate investigation into those claims too. With the trial date fast approaching, The tension is suffocating, and the entire world is watching. Joy Behar remains in custody, with her bail still firmly denied. Her empire, her fame, her influence, it all now teeters on the edge of destruction. Every ounce of her former power now rests in the hands of a courtroom overflowing with secrets, scandals, and a long overdue reckoning she never saw coming.